Resuming. Weird World Order broadcast. Dynaphones connected. Initiating broadcast signal in
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies, gentlemen, and knights of the Nerd World Order, this is the Nerd World Order broadcast. I am the man that you call Dukes, and to my right, it's all about the...
Booyah, what's up? It's your boy Joe, baby.
And to my other right, weighing in at 178 adamantium filled pounds, Alfonso X-Man Flores.
Oh my stars and garters.
There will be no stars and garters in this episode, unless we're talking about Turbo Granny, because we're going to be discussing the hit breakout anime DanDaDan on Netflix. So this was, I remember when I went with Joe to Anime Expo, I saw a sign for it and I was like, it looks interesting. Because I'm into paranormal stuff a lot, so more than Joe. So, you know, I thought it would be pretty interesting. And I have to say, I was surprised. Joe enjoys the show a lot more than me. But still, I feel the show does have some good elements. I want to say over the past 2, possibly 3 episodes, it's definitely become a much more attractive show to me as far as what I enjoy about it. So, yeah, let's get into it for all of you anime heads out there. I'm not sure if that's a thing. Like, I'm a sneaker head. I'm an anime head. But, yeah, let's jump right into DanDaDan. Alfonso X-Man Flores, what you say about DanDaDan?
So DanDaDan, it was something different, something special, something I wasn't aware of, and you guys are like, hey, you gotta watch this. So I'm like, oh, I'll check it out. So I watched the first episode, then I watched the second episode, and then I waited and I waited and waited. And I got the third. Is there 4 now? But regardless, I'm enjoying the heck out of it. It's an interesting premise, and most anime that I'm aware of, because I don't watch a lot of it. It's like, always superheroes or this or that or demons. This one, it deals in 2 different areas. Well, actually 3. So you got high school, and like a normal high school, not a high school for gifted people, not a high school for this or the other. But it's just a normal high school. But you're also dealing with the occult or supernatural, as well as aliens. So it's like you've got 2 different realms. You got the 2 main characters, Okarun and Momo. Okarun's kind of the main guy. He really believes in aliens and all the stuff that goes along with that. He's like total conspiracy theory nut, and he's got all these facts, and he's like just nerd that nobody wants to talk to. They always mess with. And Momo's this, I guess she's like the hot girl of the school that everybody loves. And one day she saw people picking on him, so she goes over and sits with him, kind of stands up for him a little bit, and all of a sudden he's in love, and he's like, oh, it must be because she's in the conspiracy theories too. So he runs over and he starts sharing all the information, and she's like, nah, that's fake. And he's like, what? That's not fake. And then she starts talking about supernatural. But that's fake. That's not fake. So it's like they have this whole struggle of which is real and not, and then ends up one dares the other to go to a place where there's a lot of UFO sightings, and the other dares the other to go to a place where there's a lot of supernatural shenanigans going on. So it's kind of a fun story. I was going to try not to say fun so much now, but I got one. So hey, take your shot. But where it goes from there, of course, both are true and both are proved right, and hilarity ensues. Does anybody else want to pick up on that a little bit?
It's all you, Joe.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because it's like, because she has a crush. I want to say it's like another. I don't know if it's an actor or not, but it's Kenta Takara. And he just happens to have the same name as her crush, so that's why she calls him Okamo. I think, was it? I'm so bad at names. Yeah, just said it.
Okarun.
Oh yeah, Okarun. So she changes his name. But to put like so like Momo has like this dope grandma who deals with the supernatural, and she predicts stuff like when it comes to like you know ghosts and stuff like that. But everybody thinks that she's a fraud and she's a fake, but she's actually truthful in a lot of stuff that she predicted. And so they both go like they both go their separate ways, and like Ken gets stuck with a ghost called Grandma, Turbo Grandma, and possesses him, and he loses his private parts in the process. And then Momo is in the alien little building, and she realized she has telekinesis powers. And so she fights with the aliens, and then it ensues like in the next few episodes of them trying to get Turbo Granny out of his body so he's not cursed and he can get his private parts back. It's I think the core of it is it's like not so much supernatural stuff or the alien stuff. It's like kind of like a love story, which I like about anime. They always have like those little love stories and stuff like that where two characters end up falling in love, and I think that's going to happen. I watch where I'm calm, so I like stuff in anime, when it comes to stuff like that where they end up liking each other. But I think it's pretty dope, dude. I enjoy the show. I remember me and Alan was at Anime Expo, and we saw like this big old, like it was like a banner in front when you walk in. It said DanDaDan. So I mean, they were promoting that show for a while. But I enjoy it. I have fun with it. I think it's taking two genres of like ghosts and curses and combining it with aliens, which I think is pretty cool because it's best of both worlds.
Yes. Yeah, I really like the way like when she's being abducted by the aliens and they're asking for are you watching it? You're watching it in Japanese, right? And you're reading the subtitles?
Yeah.
And what about you, Duke? So you watching in English?
No, he watches in dubs. Come on, dude.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm watching in English too. And these aliens are like, give me your banana. And I'm like, what are they talking? Banana? She's a girl. And it's just, it's hilarious. But what happens is she's kind of being, she's super traumatized because these aliens are wanting to probe her and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And she thinks back and she remembers her grandma who she used to make fun. She hated her grandma because her grandma was, like this medium. But the grandma taught her how to protect herself using her chakras, and she showed her how to center herself. And it's like she was panicking so much and pinned down, she went right back to that. And when she did that, she was able to, access her telekinetic abilities. And she's like, whoa, grandma was right. Grandma was right. And it was so cool because like for so long, she's like, grandma, you're just a bunch of nonsense. She would, talk crap to her, and she was so mean to her. And then she realized that her grandma really did what she could to save her. So she has this Latin, supernatural ability of telekinesis. So it worked out really well for her. She got out, and Okarun, man, Turbo Granny, she was fierce, man. That it was like some kind of weird spirit. She just like she was also saying in the English dub version, she's like, I mean, I want your banana, and it's like, whoa. And apparently that's the thing. There's one part where she's like, you could supple on my, and I'll take your, and it got a little intense for a second. But it turns out the whole thing is he has these Turbo Granny powers and trying to keep it under control. She's able to hold back Turbo Granny from taking him over completely, but he's got no more junk, and they're looking for his junk now. And it's hilarious, man.
It's funny too, because like when he can get some of Grandma's, Turbo Granny's powers, and he sounds like his whole demeanor just changes, his hair, his voice, and he's more like this. I guess I got to take care of this. You know what I mean? So it's kind of cool, like the different transitions of the characters.
And when he does that, he's more like the actor that has the same name as him, and Momo, who sees him as a geek. Anytime he like gets all like, oh, whatever, I guess I'll do this. She gets all, she goes, do something else. Say something else. Yeah, but deep down, this is it's a romance story. I was trying to find some interesting facts about it. The creator, Yukinobu Tatsu, he wanted to do this whole thing, this whole series here. And his editor's like, you can't make it like all the other Shonen Jump books. You got to make sure your manga has more romance. So he made him read 50 different romance mangas before he started this whole thing, so that way he had a different way of approaching it, so it doesn't just come off as another My Hero Academia or another. He actually also worked on Chainsaw Man. He was one of the backup artists on Chainsaw Man, so he had an idea of how to make the stuff work, and it shows. The artwork it's something different. It's not like My Hero. It's not like all the standard stuff. Like Chainsaw Man, it's a little bit out there, a little bit extra.
Yeah, I like the uniqueness of this show. I mean, I'd consider myself to be a fringe anime watcher. I feel like anyone who has Dragon Ball Z as their mainstay, they're kind of fringe just because there's so much else out there. But still, I love me some Dragon Ball, and I'll stand on that all day. But this show is just very unique. Like, I've been watching more anime lately, and so I do see the romance element, and I like it. I wouldn't say I'm ever going to watch a rom-com intentionally, but I feel like when I watch anime and I see like the romance is developing, maybe it's the same way as like regular television shows where I become more invested in the characters, and you can see that dynamic. And usually at first they don't like each other, and then they grow to respect each other. And then at some point, they kind of see, the qualities of each one. And in this particular show, I feel like there's enough of, because I tend to like odd stuff. Like, there was this really dope anime called Dorohedoro, and Joe refused to finish it because
I did. I
you
finished it
finished it. What?
a long time
Dang.
ago. Yeah.
Dang. Okay, because I remember you said you were like, it's weird.
Yeah, I mean, I
watched-
had it's one of those you don't have nothing to do. You're like, I
Yeah.
guess I'll finish it. It was like one of those days.
Okay, cool.
I don't even think they're going to pick it up.
They're not.
Yeah.
Dude, I gotta fit. I'm gonna have to read the manga because I love that. But I like weirder stuff when it comes to like, like I recently started watching Seven Deadly Sins, and I finished. Huh?
Mm.
Yeah. See, I'm up to like the first season still, and I watched.
It's
What?
tough to finish that anime, dude.
Yeah. And then where there was I watched Kengan. So I'm watching more anime now. But getting back to on topic, I just feel like this show is keeping me interested for multiple reasons. Like, I could care less if these two sort of cross paths and become romantic, because I don't care nothing about no teenagers being romantic. But as far as like their chemistry, I really like their chemistry. Turbo Granny is interesting, and is Grandma's name just Grandma? What's
It's
I think it is.
it's Seiko Ayasa.
okay? We're gonna call her Grandma. Grandma's dope. I'm like, Grandma, let your hair down, please, and stop smoking.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got a lot of interesting things going for it. And at first it was a little bit too unique for me, because the anime I like is usually like, oh, here's the main guy and he's fighting and he's able to beat everyone else up.
Yeah.
But this is very unique. If you're looking, it doesn't follow that same cookie cutter that I'm used to watching. So it's a good show. Yeah.
Yeah, and what's cool about the grandma too, she's like really OP, super strong. She's got this baseball bat that she smacks demons with. She'll, in fact, for some reason, at the tip of it pops out a pencil head, and she's able to draw runes and whatnot. But she is limited to her area, that she can only work in her city or her town, because she borrows powers from the gods that run that place. So she can't, like, even though she's OP, she can't just come in and solve all their problems, because I can't go out the city. You guys got to take care of that. But this is how you're going to do it. So she helps them out. She guides them. She has the power to stop things and help her, but she can't, because she's so limited to the amount of areas she can be in.
I like how they did that.
Yeah. What do you think, Dukes?
I think my microphone should not be muted. So I have a question about that. So I totally misunderstood that because apparently I like looked at my phone when they were explaining that. I thought Turbo Granny lost her power because you remember she was on the train
Mhm.
and they were basically like I thought when she crossed over to another city, she lost her power. Did I just totally
No,
misread that?
what it is, Turbo Granny's trapped by another entity, and that entity is that area. So it's beefing her up. But when
Mhm.
she leaves that area, that entity, that big crab monster, isn't able to help her. So her power is limited there as well. It's not depleted completely. It's just not super buffed up by this crab or whatever it
Gotcha.
was. I can't remember what it was called.
I think it was
Is
a
that
crap.
right, Joe?
Mhm.
Okay.
It was a crap.
Yeah. So it's like some of these things are powered by the area that they're in. Like that crab is specifically to that tunnel. Turbo Granny wasn't, but at the same time, she could only go so far. Uh, that's why they wanted to get her out of the town, so that they like challenged her to a race. And that's the other cool thing about Okarun. He is super fast, he's super strong, but he kind of has a time limit. So it's like he's pushing himself and he's pushing himself and he's trying, because otherwise what's going to happen? And it's really cool because like he gets running so fast he can't turn, so he'll just run off a cliff or run into a wall. So then you've got Momo on his back with her telekinesis hands, and she's like reaching out to grab a pipe or a pole or something, so it could just, they can make that corner. And it's like they work so well together, the dynamic.
Mhm.
And you could tell too, like the romance that's kindling. It's like you could tell that the writer really went an extra step. So it's like he's developing the characters, but he's also developing the relationship. So it's like the way they bounce off each other, and it's like the classic Sam and Diane from Cheers, right?
Mhm. Yeah. He never watched Cheers. Norm. Yeah, like and it's dope too. Like after they think they got rid of Turbo Granny, the next day they go to school and they both think each other don't want to hang out. After they had like that
That was-
dope little session where they were like fighting ghosts and aliens, they both thought they bonded with each other where they can go back to school and start talking to each other. And then it turns out like they're both thinking the other person doesn't want to have anything to do with them, and they keep trying to look for each other, but they're looking for each other on opposite sides, And then when they finally see each other, it looks like they're not trying to. They thought each other wasn't trying to hang out with each other.
Yeah. Like he's like, I'm too much of a dork. She doesn't want to hang out with me.
Mhm.
And she's like, there's no way, it's too dangerous. He's not going to want to hang out with me. And it was a really cool dynamic there. And then, what's cool is now that Turbo Granny is out from under control of that crab, and Turbo Granny actually turns out that she's mean and she's evil and everything, but her whole thing was she was protecting our vengeance, or she was, doing vengeance for girls who have been molested or abducted. So it's like she kind of has a good thing going, except she's like super ruthless about it. But now Turbo Granny, her essence is stuck in this like cat doll, like one of
Yeah.
the cats that do this with the arm that
Yeah.
goes up and down, the lucky cat. And I think they referred to her as Murder Kitty.
Yeah.
So she's like, she wants her power back. Okarun has it. I don't know if Momo
Because he
needs
still
it.
has his shaft.
Yes,
So he has the
yes.
shaft, but he's missing the ribos.
The peanuts.
Yeah, the peanuts, the marbles.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, how did he run really fast if he was racing Turbo Granny?
So pretty much what it's going to turn out like, eventually, like he's not going to be able to have the powers of Turbo Granny anymore.
Mhm.
But because he was training, remember when they were training?
Yeah.
So he's still faster and stronger than the average person.
Oh.
So he's able to still that. I mean, he's got to have something, right? I mean, he's not going to have Turbo Granny's powers, but I think that's cool because I like when he turns someone different and he has that little dope hair. I wish it would have kept that going because I think that's pretty cool, but I don't think they are. Or
well,
it'd
he
be
was
cool if he can channel the powers or channel the way he's faster and quicker and turns into that. That'd be cool. 'Cause I think that's a cool character. Like,
oh, totally. And then Momo, she's able to see the essence of somebody. So like
Mm,
she's able to reach in with her telekinesis and grab their spirit, right? So what she did, she actually grabbed Turbo Granny's spirit and she was holding it within Oka Run so that he could outrun the crab. So it's
yeah.
like even still, like they were using the power and to outrun the crab, which is the other spirit, but also Turbo Granny. And at the very end, she could split them up and then they win the race, right? Because what happened was they ended up jumping off top of a train. The train was going out of the city, so they split him
Yeah.
up, and then he was able to win that race. So, and then somehow they stuck her in a cat, and she's able to use his power every so often. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I mean, I hope he's able to hold on to that persona because like she's all like, oh, he's such a dork, he's such a nerd, and then he
Yeah.
gets all super cool, like Turbo Grannied out, and she's like, what's up?
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. Now, let's see here. So regarding like Turbo Granny,
Mhm.
because I was a little bit confused. Which remember the sumo? Were those aliens? Like the aliens went after you remember the sumo in like the third episode? Did she send that or did the alien send that?
Oh, that wasn't Turbo Granny sending it. It was just another. I think it was another supernatural being. Just like when they were at Grandma's house and she had that sigil on her thing, so
Yeah.
Okarun couldn't even get in the house. They took it down, and all of a sudden there was another. Was that the same?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the same one. That was the sumo, and they were like
Mhm.
trying to like mess with that. That was somebody else completely. That was just another evil spirit that was trying to get in. So it's like there's all these evil spirits all over the place, and so she keeps them at bay with that sigil, and so that's
So that had nothing to do with either Turbo Granny or the aliens?
nope.
No.
Oh wow. I need to pay
Yeah.
attention more when I'm watching
So,
this.
so one thing I read, all right, I watched. I was trying to get some more information about this without getting too deep, but one complaint about this show is like there's no serious villain throughout the whole show. It's like you're gonna have a bunch of different, it's almost like a monster of the week kind of thing, like a Scooby Doo kind of thing. So there's either gonna be aliens or there's gonna be supernatural, but you don't have like some like a Thanos. So you're like, oh, maybe that person's right. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
but still, I mean, the action is intense. The story is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm on board for this.
Yeah, me too. And I don't really, I mean, I feel like there's so much out there to watch right now.
Mhm.
You don't need to follow the same formula, like where there's this big bad that there has to be in every single episode, or
Right.
like, if they go out there, they have fun, you enjoy it. Unfortunately, I think we've all become familiar with like serialized television
Right.
and, and to an extent, serialized movies with the MCU that people complain about that. It's like, let's do something different as long as we enjoy it,
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
And this is pretty different too, because I think there was even a time when where the aliens were there, and
Mhm.
he had the Turbo Granny powers, and he's fighting the aliens, and like, what is going on? Um. So yeah, I can't wait to see what's to come with this. I know there's going to be some other characters that are introduced, spoilers. Um, but this show it's it's a ride, man. And it's so cool the way she rides on his back, and she's got the arm, so it's like together they're super powerful, and she's become super buff, and uh and they still got the whole high school dynamic, like that one episode where they were just in high school, like kind of like when everybody talks about like at the end of the Breakfast Club, what's it going to be like the next day? Are they going to hang out with each other? Because there was
Yeah.
somebody from every different group, and you're like, well, probably not. If you see me walking in the hallway, you're going to say hi. And they kind of had that same thing, and they were like, oh yeah, she's going to, and they're like, no, I better not. Yeah, but we better. Okay, now I'm gonna go look for him here, but then I'm over here. And I'm gonna look for him over here, but then I'm over here. So it was really cool. I mean, it actually reminds me of a high school experience that I had once, but I don't want to get into that too much.
So one thing I always thought was interesting, I was like, why is this cat at the beginning of
Right.
yeah, I was like, what's the deal with this cat? And I thought it was kind of cool how they introduce the cat like in the beginning, and 4 episodes in, the cat actually has relevancy to the show. But
Right.
they showed you the cat this whole time. I was
Mhm.
like, why is this? I think that's so cool. Just doing
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
like that where they introduce something and later on it becomes relevant. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, for a while I thought that was just going to be something that was like in their imagination, something like to get the story going. Like, how like sometimes in anime where everybody all of a sudden is chibis just so they can explain things, and
Mhm.
then they jump back to their regular. So I thought that's what the cat was, but it turns out that it's a part of the story, and then it's pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, is Turbo Granny able to make the cat animate like it can run around and stuff?
Yeah, it was running around.
Yeah.
Okay.
She like
But
takes
not-
possession, like she possesses it.
Yeah,
Kind of like
Right.
how she did with Ken. Well,
Gotcha.
nah, I guess it was really a curse with Ken.
but
I
she
don't
can't
if
really
she-
access
but-
the powers.
Yeah, but if it's not for Momo, she can take over Ken's body. So
Gotcha. Okay, that's pretty cool. So
yeah, it's pretty cool. Like Netflix is like coming through with like a lot of stuff that's I don't know if they're gonna buy Crunchyroll or whatever, but it's kind of weird because like the stuff that you can watch, like because the 3 anime that's on Crunchyroll that are brand new, like that one, the new Dragon Ball one, and Rama Half are all on Crunchyroll, but yeah, you can watch it on and same with One Piece, and you can watch it on the newer episodes on Netflix.
Yeah, interesting.
Which if you like weird stuff, you should watch Rama Half.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually pretty cool.
Ha-
So what's up?
has that been around for a while?
Long time.
Yes, it's a remake. So they remade
Oh.
it, but the anime looks cleaner.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but it's
Like-
it's funny. I don't know if you know about the story.
No, I remember seeing like the logo and the characters, but I was
Yeah.
like, but this came out in 2024, so that
Yeah.
explained it. Yeah.
So like he's basically Ranma is training with his dad in China, right?
Mhm.
And when they're fighting so much, and they don't realize that they're fighting above this separate water in like mountains. Like each water has a different puddle. So the dad falls in the first, he comes up, and you find out later he gets turned into a panda.
Mhm.
So Ranma gets turned into a woman. And both of it happens when it's cold water because they land in the water. So that now it's almost like a curse or something like that. So now when he comes back to Japan, he arranges a marriage with a girl. And when they come, it's a girl, and they said, "Wait a minute, you said it was a son," and then you find out later, cold water makes them into a woman, and then hot water turns them back to a man. And so it's kind of like weird because like it's another romance again. Like him and the girl clashing, and then
Mhm.
eventually start falling for each other. But he's like a fighter. It's actually pretty good.
Cool.
Like the way they work it into it. So like I think that is good. Like Netflix is stepping up their game with the anime,
yeah.
or I guess it's Crunchyroll. But as far as like getting the what is what does he always say, dude? The IPA, IP.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the IP.
Yeah, IP. There we go. I'm so bad at
Intellectual.
that. Yeah, getting the IP, for it to be on Netflix and stuff.
Yeah, that's
So I
pretty
think
cool.
it's pretty cool. Even the Dragon Ball is actually I'm enjoying it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for a while they kept fishing with a lot of different things that were kind of failing here and there. They'd
Mhm.
pick up a good one or a bad one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they probably would, with the amount of money they have, they can easily acquire that,
Mhm.
be a good play.
Yeah.
Yeah. But apparently I should stop watching Seven Deadly Sins because Joe says it's meh.
No, you can finish it. I finished it. It's just I don't know, man.
I keep meaning to watch Full Metal Alchemist because the robot's name is Alphonse.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of. Like
I had
that
yeah.
slow pace.
Mhm.
Ah,
Yeah, I haven't finished Full Metal for that reason
Cool.
because at first I was really into it, and then they kind of moved away from focusing on the brothers, and they started focusing on like every other character, and I'm like, dude, I just want to see the brothers finish their mission. I don't care about all these other characters. So I dropped off on that, but I do like the characters in Seven Deadly Sins. I just think they're fun to watch.
You know, that reminds me, a little off topic, but one thing I never finished, I got to finish the last season of Attack on Titan. I've seen it all except the last season. Did you watch that at all, Joe?
I think I watched the first season, and then I mean, a lot of people like it. I think I just watched the first season, and I was just like, eh. And then someone was telling me the ending. I think it was my son was telling me the ending, and I was just like, yeah, I'm glad I never finished that.
Yeah. I watched one episode of Attack on Titan and I was like, I don't get it.
Yeah. You won't like the ending, dude. Then the ending is just like, dude, I'm glad I didn't invest in it. I think it's like 5 seasons, right? I think it's 5.
so, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'd be so mad investing 5 seasons of that, man.
You see, it's like I kind of stopped watching the last season. I watched a little bit. I'm like, I'm not digging it too much. And then I was talking to my daughter Emma's boyfriend, John, and John's like, oh, the last season's the best. You got to watch it. And I'm like, really? It wasn't really, I'll give it a try. I got to finish it. You know, it's like I've started, I might as well finish it. But I wasn't so impressed at the beginning because it was just like, I was kind of losing it because probably the same reason why your sons didn't like it too much. Because I don't know the actual ending, but from what they got to, I'm like, I'm not digging that too much.
Yeah. It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah. Hey, did we ever discuss the Terminator anime?
No, I forgot about that.
I still haven't watched that. I saw, you're flicking through Netflix. I was like, oh, yeah, I still have to watch that.
Yeah.
And that takes place in Japan, right?
No, I don't know.
I thought I read something about that.
I think it does. It's a very interesting story, though. It's one of those, as you're watching it, it's kind of like you start to oh, okay, I get what happened. But it's pretty cool. It's like, one of those where you're starting to figure out the ending before it happens, but still, it's pretty cool. I think it's a good way to reboot the Terminator franchise. They did it really well. Yeah.
Well, we could use, I don't think we need a Terminator.
I agree, actually. I mean, I love the Terminator, but I think at some point, some franchises, you just need to stop,
Yeah, just like they should have stopped at Terminator 2. They should have stopped at Matrix 2. So, yeah.
They should have stopped at X2.
Yeah, see, the curse of the twos. They should have stopped at Empire Strikes Back.
Man. Oh, you did not go there.
And Temple of Doom.
Wow.
Oh no, I like the Sean Connery. The dog's name was Indiana.
Nah, dude. They should have stopped at the second one.
Yeah. I've never seen I never finished a single Indiana Jones movie. And even I know the Sean Connery stuff was just annoying.
Even Smokey and the Bandit 2, they should have stopped that too. You can keep going. Dude, I wonder how many movies we can come up with where they should have stopped that too.
Son, remind me when I get home to punch your mama right in the mouth. Jaws 2, they could have stopped there. They didn't need Jaws 3D.
You see what I'm saying? Dude, that's crazy, man.
Fast and the Furious.
I don't know. I kind of like them. I think the third one wasn't the third one Tokyo Drift, right? See, I love Tokyo Drift though, man.
See, that should have just been a whole new franchise.
It should have.
I thought they were gonna do that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that deserved its own franchise because it was it was so separate from everything else, Yeah. Did that have Han in
Hobbs and Hobbs and Shaw was good, dude. The Rock is the Rock, man.
Dude, I really want to watch this new Santa Claus movie, but the Rock was showing up 3 hours late to set, and it's just like,
dude, yeah. They said he would.
The movie looks like it seems like a good idea.
What did he say? His farts were bad on the set too, dude.
Oh, dang!
Oh.
Wow, wowzers!
Them cheat day farts.
Cool. So you guys got any other thoughts on the DanDaDan there?
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of bummed that it's such a short episode that we're doing, but I mean, there's only been a few episodes out, so there's You know, it's like you can't really even speculate where this is going to go because it can go so many places. I mean, you got the supernatural, you got aliens, and I think I heard rumors about cryptids as well. So it's like, oh, come on, man, give me everything.
Yeah. See, that's awesome to me because they're not limiting themselves. And as
Not at
long as,
all.
as long as the stories make sense, roll with it, run with it,
Right.
dude. Have fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You guys got anything out there right now that you guys are suggesting for other people to watch as well?
Just like the Ranma and a half, I think you should check that out.
I might, because I remember when I was working at the comic shop, dude. I was selling
Yeah.
like one person bought that all the time.
Yeah. And then who was it? Dragon Ball Dyna? Is it Dyna? I think it's Dyna.
Daima? I thought it was
Yeah.
Daima, but yeah.
Dyna, yeah.
And that'll be good for me to hop on without watching the other Dragon Balls.
Yeah, it picks up after they beat Majin Buu.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that in the theater this weekend. So
Oh,
pretty
nice.
excited
Which one?
about that. The first 3 episodes of Daima are gonna be dubbed in the theater this weekend.
Yeah, it's not dubbed on Netflix.
Oh,
I didn't know it was on Netflix.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It has that on there. Ranma half is on there. DanDaDan's on there. One Piece is on there. They even have like a lot of older animes that are still out, like Jujutsu Kaisen's on there now.
yeah, I started
it's
watching
on
that.
there. Yeah, I need to
Um,
watch the new season of that because I heard that's like the best one. I think you told me that, Joe.
Yeah.
Like it just gets way better in the 3rd season.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
I have a lot of catching up to do on that. I think I'm only like 8
Yeah.
episodes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, I believe this concludes this episode of the Nerd World Order broadcast. So until next time, ladies, gentlemen, and knights of the Nerd World Order, I am NWO.
We are NWO.
Nerd Redefined. Booyah.